All right, guys, here we go. First episode of the Armed and Deadly podcast. Finally getting it up and running. Uh, man, this thing's gonna be kind of really unscripted, go off the cuff. Um, not sure, not sure how long this thing's gonna last. It might last 10 minutes. It might last 10 hours. Who knows? Just tired of dragging my feet, to be honest with you. Um, I had this thing approved on the Apple podcast platform and all the other platforms back in what was it, July of 2019 was when I first had this vision for this thing to get going. And I've just been dragging my feet. So uh, this first one's gonna be, like I said, just really unscripted, short, to the point. We'll talk about just kind of talk about what the storyline, what my podcast episodes are gonna look like, what you can expect. And all that good stuff. And I'm hoping that a lot of you guys, if you give me your feedback and see what you like to hear from me, or if there are certain guests that you would like to hear me interview or hear from in general. Looks like I'm already getting some traction. I have some high quality guests on here right out of the gate. A lot of good conversations are gonna take place. I'm really excited about it. Really passionate. Um, so first things first. In case you're on this podcast and you don't know me personally, I know a lot of you guys will end up knowing me personally that listen, just because I started putting out this content on Instagram, Facebook, social media platforms, which turned into me wanting to turn it into a podcast. So background on me, just turned 39 years old. This episode's being recorded on October 13th. Oh man, that's great. 13. That's my lucky number. So that's pretty cool. I didn't mean to do that. So I just turned 39 years old on October the 8th. So got one more year here in my 30s. Hit the big 40 next year. So that's a monetary numeric value that has made me passionate to set a bunch of goals before I'm turning 40 years old. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I've got a one only child boy. He's 7 years old as of this podcast. Army veteran. I was a 11 Bravo infantryman, stationed in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, back in 2001, many years ago. So up until November of last year, I was a firefighter paramedic for 16 years with Hanover County Fire and EMS in Virginia. Until I decided to take a leap. Took a leap of faith, and I had been selling real estate as a real estate agent on the side, and had gotten pretty successful. Knew what I was doing. Was passionate. Was losing passion for the fire department. I was really worn out. Honestly, I'd seen too much trauma. Just really worn out, honestly. So I took a leap November last year, which was 2020, right during the pandemic. So, why not just quit your salary job during a pandemic to go full commission? What the hell? Sounds like a grand idea, doesn't it? But, that's just kind of the way I operate. I like to, I operate well under pressure. So I'm hoping to instill those values in you guys. So anyway, it's almost been a year now since I've been selling real estate full time. I'm really good at it. Enjoy helping people, buy and sell homes. Just kind of wanting to get this podcast off the ground. Wanting to get been on a big self-development journey, mental health journey since simply since October 11th of 2018. Really good friend of mine, Brad Clark, got killed in the line of duty on the side of Interstate 295. It's tragic. I'm already going to get choked up here, guys, but that's kind of the point of this podcast. So, yeah, so been on a self-development journey since we lost. Right over my cord here. Since we lost him tragically, Brad always pushed me to do things that I didn't have confidence to do or didn't feel like I could do well, and he always saw things in me and saw things in everybody that they may not see in themselves, and he would always push them to better themselves. So it's where this podcast is going. I want to continue his legacy by continuing to push people forward, push them out of their comfort zone, do things that they didn't think could ever do. Because honestly, we can do a lot more than we think we are capable of. So that was one of the biggest triggers of him getting killed. So I've been during my self-help journey. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts myself from other guys. I'm like, man, I listen to podcasts non-stop every time I'm in the truck, every time I'm driving to the gym, if I'm driving to work, if I'm in the truck by myself, I'm listening to podcasts, and I'm gaining so much value from these things, and I have grown so much from the value that has been put out by these ladies and gentlemen on these podcasts, and I'm like, why? What the hell am I gonna say? Like, who wants to listen to Eric Portwood? Like, so you have that self-limiting belief, you have that self-doubt, but then you really dive deep into it and you think about it and you're like, you know what? A lot of these guys that are doing these podcasts are super successful and they're providing all this value, and you know what, they literally have no background. Like, some of these guys are like, I don't know, I'm not going to name any titles to downplay any position, but they don't have a background of military and fire and trauma, and a lot of them are dads, a lot of them are husbands, and they've been sharing their self-development journey along the way, and I just feel I have so much value to provide you guys through this free platform. Like, I'm not charging you anybody anything to listen to me ramble on. And if you want to listen to me ramble, then please and share it, and all that good jazz. So let's talk about the title. It came to me back in 2019 as well. I changed my Instagram handle to Armed and Dadly. I felt that was pretty witty. But the more I got to thinking about it, is I was like, this is like my lifestyle. This is my purpose. This is my passion, and it's to live armed and dadly. It's not just a catchy name. It is truly a way to live, to because you want to be strong. Armed and dadly means you're strong, but you're gentle. Just as your arms, you're just like in the intro says, you're capable of extreme violence. You're strong, mentally, physically capable of extreme violence because you train every day. You train in the gym, you train jiu-jitsu, you train with firearms, you put yourself in tough situations mentally, physically. So you're capable of that extreme violence, but you choose to forego that violence to be a protector, to be a provider, to be a leader, and to be like a gentle warrior is what I like to call armed and dadly. So I really have this huge vision for this movement, and I just want to bring everybody along with me. If you're a dad, if you're a parent, you don't even have to be a dad. There's so many people out there, they're father figures, they're role models, and just, even though you're not a dad necessarily, you're a father figure. So we're trying to make father figures, bring the father figure back to the home, and get rid of the toxic masculinity out there. So that toxic masculinity is a thing. It is somebody that just walks around and big ego and walks around, beats their chest, got their ass on their shoulders all the time, and it's simply because they don't have any self-confidence. It's simply because they don't do the work on themselves to feel strong, to feel capable. They feel incapable. And that's what toxic masculinity is. Masculinity is not toxic in itself. Masculinity is needed. It's needed in the home. It's needed in society. And we're going to bring it back with this movement. And it's going to be called Armed and Dadly. And it's going to be a big thing. And I'm happy to bring each and every one of you along with me. So I plan on putting out one episode a week at this point. So can't overwhelm myself too quickly. But anyway, and also I forgot to, so with the Gentle Warriors and Armed and Dadly, it's we want to, when Brad got killed, I'm rambling, I'm going back and forth, I apologize. So you probably need to get used to that if you're going to listen to this podcast. I've got ADD. I see a squirrel and I quickly forget what I was talking about. But anyway, So we got to understand that there's truly a power in a man's tears. And there's too many of us men that have for years like held back those tears. We've held back the vulnerability that is so much needed. I mean, just and for so many of us. So I keep going back to Brad's death, and that brought tears and emotions out in me and so many of my brothers and sisters, like that I would like we would never expect, that we had never thought that we would actually have to experience. That shit that happens on the movies. That you didn't get into the fire department. You got into the fire department looking at backdraft movies and that crap, and you're like, oh man, that just happens in the movies. That didn't happen in real life. And then there it did. So it's the power in our tears, in a man's tears, and I want every man listening to this podcast. I want you to feel comfortable with one another. I want you to feel comfortable with me. I want you to feel comfortable with your brothers to talk about things with one another that are bothering you, that hurt, and don't hold those tears in. It's just don't do it. Let it loose. Talk to your brothers. Talk to your family, wives, husbands, whatever it may be. So anyway, so a lot of the storylines will be on this podcast along the way. It's a big self-development journey. Every day I'm learning something new. Every day I am developing, growing through pain, and it's part of the intro is just find that purpose in that pain, and find pleasure in the pain. Honestly, if you know that it sucks and it's hurting, and like when you're at the gym and your freaking legs are shaking and trembling while you're doing squats, for damn sure that you're growing. You got to break those muscles down. When they break the muscles down, and they grow back stronger. That's just how it works. You're not going to grow without breaking first. So we'll talk about all these core values with physical strength. We'll get into workout programs. We'll get into health and fitness. I hope to have some really great guests. In the health and fitness industry. We'll have some. Then we'll get into relationships, marriages. Friendships, relationships. Relationships in the community, all of that. So, shoot, had a brain fart there. Again, that's going to happen too if you listen to my podcast. I'm going to have a sip of this coffee. Oh man, tastes like the fire hose coffee that I used to have back in the day. It tastes just like dirt and asphalt. Anyway, so relationships and then finding our purpose. Each and every one of us, I know for me, I thrive off feeling significant. So that's where this podcast comes into play. For 16 years, now 20 years of my whole life with the Army and the fire department combined. I've been in a government position. I've been in a position that automatically gives people a sense of purpose, a sense of significance. It's an immediately respected position. When you walk into a room and somebody's like, "Hey, well, what do you do for a living?" Well, I'm a fireman. I've been, well, man, that's great. That's and since I've left the fire department, and people ask me what I do, and I'm like, I'm a real estate agent. Well, it's not quite the same response. It's more or less, well, let me get away from this dude before he tries to, slime ball sales me into something. Which, hey, I get it. I don't like the salesy crap either. If you've done a deal with me, you know that ain't the way I sell real estate. I'm a real dude, and I'm gonna treat you right, and we're gonna get the job done. But so physical strength, relationships, purpose. Then we'll get into just being productive. Like, what are you doing every day to be a productive member of society, a productive man, woman, husband, father, wife, whatever. What are you doing to be productive? Do you lay around all day long and say I'm fat and wonder why you're fat? Well, I can tell you why you're fat, because you're laying on the couch saying you're fat. So be productive. Get up off of the couch and go to the gym, or walk around the block, or whatever. Move. It's truly not hard to do. It's very easy. They freaking get up off your ass. And what else are you doing to be productive? Are you providing the finances for your family? Are you providing a service? Are you providing to the community? Are you giving back to the community with charities? Or, are you walking around? Are you helping complete strangers? Are you holding the door open for people? When you want to walk into a restaurant, are you holding the door open? Are you smiling at people? Or are you just letting the door flop behind you and not caring about anybody else around you? There's too much of that crap recently. Be nice, be kind, be productive, be a productive, and shoot, I don't know what's the right word. Give back to society. Don't be a leech. So anyway, that's a lot of it in the nutshell. So I hope to have. I'm planning on having. I'm gonna have an interview style podcast. I'll have me on here like this sometimes, just rambling along. So if you have any ideas, or you have, again, you have people that you want to hear from, or you have things that I have provided value to you in the past through social media, through one-on-one interactions, then hit a brother up. Because this is a lifestyle for me. This is my purpose to bring this Armed and Deadly as a household name. We're gonna break the cycle. We're gonna start providing. We're gonna start providing. We're gonna start leading. We're gonna break the cycle of unmotivated, weak men. Needless to say, we're a society of immediate pleasure. You order food from your phone and it's on your doorstep in 2 minutes, or you get mad when your Amazon order isn't on your doorstep within an hour or whatever. So we're gonna be motivated. We're gonna be strong mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. we're going to leave a legacy. We're going to leave a legacy together. We're going to, when we get wiped off of this earth, we're going to be significant. We're going to have left a legacy for people to remember. I go back to Brad. He sure left a legacy for all of us, especially for me. That's where, once again, trying not to, again, see, power in emotion. Power in emotion, power in tears. So we're going to leave a legacy worth emulating. We're going to be dads worth being. We're going to be role models, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win the battle every day in our minds, and we're gonna weaponize ourselves, our minds, our bodies. We're gonna be extremely capable. We're gonna talk, I just got back into jiu-jitsu, so we're gonna talk about that kind of stuff as well. And simply put, at the end, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. This will be a quick one. We will be the best version of ourselves every single day that we get up. We're gonna have gratitude that we can get up, whether we got to get up early, whether we get up and we're sore from working out, whether we get up and we don't feel well, we're unmotivated, we're going to be gracious that we're able to get up. So many people don't have that luxury. They can't. Anyway, yeah. So this is it. That's it in a nutshell. Like I said, that was pretty unscripted. I had a few notes here on the desk, but just kind of went off on a few little tangents there. But I truly appreciate the just overwhelming support that I have received, the outpouring love that I've received when I told people I was going to release a podcast, and I really hope that I can provide so much value to you guys. It's a journey. This life is a journey, and we're going to be the best people we can be. So let's get this journey started. Here was episode 1. Thanks for listening, guys. I truly love you all. Appreciate the support. On to the next one.